Hey Sagittarius, I just pulled cards for you and honestly, I need to share what came through because the energy here is absolutely fascinating. I set up this reading specifically to look at what the universe has lined up for you. And let me tell you, what showed up is really something special. So I'm sitting here with my deck and the first card that came out is the Emperor. This card just jumped right out and I have to say, this is speaking to a level of authority and structure that's about to become very prominent in your life. The Emperor energy is all about stepping into your power in a really solid, grounded way. You know how sometimes we talk about manifesting or being in control, but it feels kind of abstract. This is different. This is you actually taking the reins of your life in a tangible, measurable way. I'm seeing this as you moving into a position where your decisions carry real weight, where people are looking to you for direction and leadership. And here's what's interesting about this. It's not coming from a place of ego or needing to dominate. The Emperor in this position is showing me that you've earned this authority through your experiences, through the wisdom you've gained. Maybe you've been through some challenging situations recently where you had to learn how to set boundaries, how to stand firm in your convictions. All of that has been preparing you for this moment where you step into a role that requires that exact energy. I'm seeing possibilities here of career advancement. Maybe you're going to be offered a leadership position. Or if you're self-employed, this could be your business reaching a new level of stability and recognition. But it goes beyond career too. This could be about taking control of your health, your finances, your personal relationships in a way where you're no longer being reactive but truly proactive and strategic. The Emperor wants you to create systems, to build foundations that will support your long-term goals. And I think what's really important here is that this isn't about being rigid or inflexible. True leadership, true authority comes from knowing when to stand firm and when to adapt, and you're going to find that balance. Moving forward, the next card that appeared is Three of Swords and okay. I know this one can look intimidating when it shows up, but hear me out on this because the context really matters. The Three of Swords is traditionally associated with heartbreak and emotional pain. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This card is indicating that there's been some hurt, some disappointment that you've experienced or maybe are still processing. But here's what I'm picking up on. This card in your reading right now is actually about the healing that comes after that pain. It's like the universe is acknowledging that yes, you've been through something difficult emotionally. Maybe it was a relationship that didn't work out the way you hoped. Maybe it was a friendship that ended, or perhaps it was a realization about someone or something that caused you genuine grief. The swords piercing the heart in this card represent clarity. And sometimes clarity hurts because it forces us to see things as they really are rather than how we wish they would be. But Sagittarius, what I'm feeling from this card is that you're moving through this pain, not staying stuck in it. There's a release happening. You know how sometimes you have to acknowledge the hurt before you can truly let it go? That's what this is about. I'm sensing that you might have been holding on to some emotional weight, maybe trying to be strong or positive all the time, and this card is saying it's okay to admit that something hurt you. In fact, it's necessary. Because on the other side of that acknowledgement is freedom. You're going to find that once you fully process whatever this emotional challenge was, you're going to feel so much lighter. And here's something else. The Three of Swords is also about cutting through illusions. Those swords are cutting away the fantasies, the false hopes, the things that weren't serving you. So while it might feel painful in the moment, this is actually protecting you from wasting more time or energy on something that wasn't meant for you. There's a person or a situation that you're going to see with complete clarity soon. And that clarity is going to set you free. The third card that came through is Two of Cups, and this is where things start to get really beautiful. After the structure of the Emperor and the emotional processing of the Three of Swords, here comes this gorgeous energy of connection and partnership. The Two of Cups is one of the most positive cards in the entire deck when it comes to relationships, and I'm seeing this as a significant partnership entering your life. Now this could be romantic. Absolutely. If you're single or if you're open to love. This card is suggesting that you're going to meet someone who truly matches your energy. Someone who sees you and values you for who you really are. And what makes this different from surface-level attraction is the depth indicated here. The Two of Cups is about mutual respect, equal give and take, emotional maturity. This is someone who's going to show up for you in real ways. Not just with words but with consistent action. But I want to expand on this because the Two of Cups isn't limited to romantic relationships. This could also be about a business partnership that's going to be incredibly fruitful, where you find someone whose skills complement yours perfectly. Or it could be a deep friendship that develops, the kind where you feel truly understood and supported. What I'm really picking up on is that after a period where maybe you felt somewhat isolated or like you had to handle everything on your own, you're entering a phase where collaboration and connection become central themes. And here's what's touching about this energy. It's not about need or desperation. You're not looking for someone to complete you or fix you. The Emperor energy we talked about earlier means you're coming from a place of wholeness and strength. This partnership is about two whole people choosing to walk together, to build something together, to support each other's growth. I'm also seeing that this connection might develop in an unexpected way or with someone you wouldn't necessarily have predicted. The universe has a way of bringing the right people into our lives at exactly the right moment, and this feels very divinely orchestrated. Now we get to Knight of Wands and oh, this energy is electric. After that beautiful Two of Cups connection, here comes this burst of passionate, dynamic, adventurous energy. The Knight of Wands is all about movement, action, enthusiasm, and courage. This card is telling me that you're going to feel this incredible surge of motivation and desire to pursue something that excites you. Knights in tarot represent movement and change, and wands are the suit of passion, creativity, and willpower. So you're looking at a period where you're not just thinking about your dreams or planning for the future, you're actively charging toward them with confidence and determination. I'm seeing travel possibilities here. Maybe an opportunity to go somewhere you've always wanted to visit, or perhaps a chance to explore new territories in your career or personal growth. The Knight of Wands doesn't do anything halfway. When this energy comes in, it's full throttle, all in, completely committed to the adventure. And for you Sagittarius, this really resonates with your natural fire sign energy, doesn't it? You're someone who thrives on exploration, on pushing boundaries, on saying yes to experiences that expand your horizons. This card is confirmation that you're about to enter a phase where life feels exciting again, where you wake up with anticipation about what the day might bring. Now I do want to mention that night energy can sometimes be a bit impulsive, so while I'm seeing all this positive forward movement, it's good to balance it with some of that emperor wisdom we talked about earlier. You want to be bold and courageous, absolutely, but you also want to make sure you're not burning bridges or making decisions purely on impulse without considering the longer-term implications. The beautiful thing is that you have both energies available to you, the strategic planning of the Emperor and the passionate action of the Knight of Wands. When you combine those, you become absolutely unstoppable. The fifth card that appeared is Six of Swords, and this is such a significant transition card. The Six of Swords represents moving away from troubled waters toward calmer, more peaceful circumstances. I'm looking at this card and I can see someone in a boat moving across water, leaving behind stormy seas and heading toward a more tranquil shore. This is about a journey, both literal and metaphorical. You're in the process of moving from a difficult period into something much better. And what's important about the Six of Swords is that it's not an instant transformation. It's a gradual movement, a journey that requires patience and trust. You might not be at your destination yet, but you're definitely on your way there, and every day you're getting closer. I'm sensing that you've recently made or are about to make a decision to leave something behind, something that no longer serves your highest good. Maybe it's a living situation that's been stressful. Maybe it's a job that's been draining your energy, or perhaps it's a mindset or belief system that's been limiting you. The Six of Swords says that while leaving the familiar can be uncomfortable, even when the familiar is difficult, you're making the right choice. You're choosing your peace, your growth, your future over the comfort of what you know. And the universe is supporting this transition. I'm also picking up on the idea that you might have a guide or helper during this transition, someone who's helping you navigate these changes, offering wisdom or practical support. This could be a mentor, a therapist, a friend, or even your own inner wisdom that's finally loud enough for you to hear clearly. There's a sense of relief that comes with this card, like you've been carrying something heavy and you're finally able to set it down. And as you move forward, you're going to realize how much energy you get back, how much lighter you feel, how much more capacity you have for joy and creativity when you're not weighed down by circumstances or relationships that deplete you. Moving to the next card, I pulled Four of Wands, and this is pure celebration energy. The Four of Wands is about stability, harmony, happy occasions, and reaching important milestones. This card often appears when there's something to celebrate, whether that's a wedding, a new home, a career achievement, or simply reaching a point of stability and happiness in your life. What I'm seeing with this card is that after all the transitions and challenges indicated in the earlier cards, you're moving toward a period of genuine joy and celebration. There's going to be a reason to gather with people you love, to mark an achievement, to acknowledge how far you've come. And what's beautiful about the Four of Wands is that it represents earned success. Not just luck but the result of your hard work, your perseverance, your willingness to keep moving forward even when things were difficult. I'm also picking up on home and family themes with this card. Maybe you're going to find your ideal living situation, a place where you feel truly at home and at peace. Or perhaps there's going to be a family gathering or reunion that brings you joy. The Four of Wands creates a strong, stable foundation. It's four wands planted firmly in the ground, creating a structure, a canopy under which you can rest and celebrate. After the movement of the Six of Swords, this is where you land, in a place of security and happiness. And I want you to know that you deserve this. Sometimes we get so used to struggle that we forget to acknowledge when things are actually going well. This card is encouraging you to really soak in the good moments when they come, to celebrate your wins no matter how small they might seem, to create those joyful memories with the people who matter to you. There's also an energy of community here, of being surrounded by supportive people who genuinely care about your well-being and want to see you succeed. The seventh card is King of Cups, and this brings in such mature, emotionally balanced energy. The King of Cups is the master of emotions, someone who has deep feelings but isn't controlled by them, someone who can be compassionate and understanding while maintaining healthy boundaries. This card appearing in your reading suggests that you're developing or have developed this level of emotional mastery. You're learning to navigate your feelings with wisdom and grace. You're not suppressing your emotions, but you're also not letting them overwhelm you or dictate your decisions. This is incredibly powerful growth. The King of Cups can also represent a person coming into your life, someone who embodies these qualities. This could be a romantic partner who's emotionally available and mature, someone who's done their inner work and can show up in a relationship in healthy ways. Or it could be a mentor, counselor, or friend who helps you develop your own emotional intelligence. What I'm really feeling with this card is that you're entering a phase where your relationships, including your relationship with yourself, become more balanced and fulfilling. You're no longer tolerating emotional games or manipulation. You're no longer accepting crumbs of affection or attention. The King of Cups knows his worth and expects to be treated with respect and kindness, and he offers the same to others. This is such a powerful position to be in because when you operate from this level of emotional maturity, you naturally attract better situations and people into your life. Drama and chaos can't stick to you because you're not engaging with that energy anymore. I'm also seeing that you might be called upon to be the emotionally stable one in your circle, the person others come to for advice or comfort, and you'll find that you have the capacity to offer that support without it draining you because you've learned how to maintain your own emotional equilibrium. Card number 8 is Page of Cups, and this brings in such sweet, gentle energy. The Page of Cups is about new emotional beginnings, creative inspiration, and messages related to feelings. Pages in tarot are messengers, and the Page of Cups often brings news about relationships, creative projects, or emotional developments. I'm seeing this as you receiving some kind of communication that touches your heart. Maybe a message from someone you care about, an opportunity related to creative work, or an intuitive insight about your emotional path forward. The Page of Cups has this quality of innocent, open-hearted wonder. It's about being willing to be vulnerable, to explore your feelings, to express yourself creatively without worrying about judgment or criticism. This card suggests that you're reconnecting with a more playful, imaginative part of yourself. Maybe you're going to start a creative project just for the joy of it. Or maybe you're going to approach a relationship with fresh eyes and an open heart, willing to see the magic and possibility rather than being cynical or guarded. What I love about the Page of Cups is that it brings hope and sweetness into situations. Even if you've been hurt before, Even if you've learned to be cautious, this card says it's safe to let your guard down again, to believe in beauty and love and creative expression. There's also an element of emotional healing that comes with this card. The Page of Cups can represent inner child work, reconnecting with parts of yourself that maybe got pushed aside as you dealt with adult responsibilities and challenges. This is an invitation to nurture those tender, creative, playful aspects of who you are. And in terms of messages, pay attention to your dreams and intuitive hits during this time. The Page of Cups is very connected to the subconscious and psychic sensitivity, so you might receive guidance through these channels. The ninth card that came through is Six of Cups, and this is really interesting because it adds another layer to this whole reading. The Six of Cups is often associated with nostalgia, past connections, childhood memories, and sometimes the return of someone from your past. This card has such a sweet, innocent energy to it. I'm seeing this as a period where you might reconnect with old friends, perhaps someone you knew in childhood or from a previous chapter of your life reaches out. And this connection brings joy, and perhaps even healing. The Six of Cups can also indicate that you're drawing on positive memories and experiences from your past to inform your present and future. Maybe there's something you loved doing as a child that you're going to pick back up, a hobby or interest that brought you pure happiness before life got complicated. This card encourages that kind of reconnection with simple pleasures. Now, the Six of Cups can sometimes indicate that someone from your past is thinking about you or may even come back into your life in some way. If there's someone you've been wondering about, an old flame or a friend you lost touch with, this card suggests that there might be some kind of resolution or reconnection happening. But I want to be clear that this doesn't necessarily mean going backwards. The Six of Cups at its best is about taking the lessons and the love from the past and bringing them forward in a healthy way. It's about honoring where you've been while still moving toward where you're going. There's also a theme of forgiveness with this card, both forgiving others and forgiving yourself. Maybe there's something from your past that you've been holding on to, some regret or resentment, and this card is suggesting that it's time to release that and make peace with it. You're being given an opportunity to heal old wounds, to see past situations with more compassion and understanding now that you have more perspective. The final card in your reading is Ten of Wands, and I have to say, this is such an important card to address because it speaks to something you might be experiencing right now or might encounter in the near future. The Ten of Wands shows someone carrying a heavy burden, struggling under the weight of too many responsibilities. This card is about feeling overloaded, overwhelmed, taking on too much, or carrying burdens that aren't actually yours to carry. Now, in the context of everything else we've seen in this reading, I'm interpreting this as both a warning and a teaching moment. The universe is showing you this card to help you recognize when you're taking on too much, when you're saying yes to things out of obligation rather than genuine desire, when you're trying to do everything yourself, instead of asking for help or delegating. The Ten of Wands can appear when we're close to a goal, but we're so exhausted from the journey that we can barely appreciate the destination. It's like you've been pushing and striving and working so hard, and while all that effort is admirable, you're reaching a point where you need to evaluate what you're carrying and why. Here's what I think the universe wants you to know: you don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to prove your worth through endless productivity and sacrifice. Some of those burdens you're carrying, they can be set down. Some of those responsibilities, they can be shared. And some of those commitments, maybe they weren't serving you in the first place. The Ten of Wands is encouraging you to be honest about what's draining your energy and to make different choices going forward. Especially combined with all the other cards in this reading. The leadership of the Emperor, the emotional maturity of the King of Cups, the celebration of the Four of Wands. There's a message here about working smarter, not harder. About creating sustainable success rather than burning yourself out. You're moving towards something beautiful, but you need to make sure you have the energy and presence to actually enjoy it when you get there. So Sagittarius, when I look at all these cards together, here's the story I'm seeing. You're stepping into a powerful period of leadership and authority in your life, taking control in ways you haven't before. You've been through some emotional challenges, some heartbreak or disappointment, but you're processing that and moving through it with wisdom. Beautiful connections are coming your way. Partnerships that are balanced and supportive. You're going to feel this surge of adventurous energy that gets you excited about life again, and you're actively moving away from difficult circumstances toward more peaceful waters. There are celebrations ahead, milestones to mark, reasons to gather with loved ones. You're developing emotional maturity and balance that serves you incredibly well. New creative and emotional beginnings are opening up, and you might reconnect with positive elements from your past in meaningful ways. But through all of this, remember to manage your energy wisely, to not take on more than necessary, to ask for help when you need it. The universe is supporting you in creating a life that's not just successful but also sustainable and joyful. You're being called to step into your power while staying connected to your heart, to be ambitious while also being balanced, to lead while also being willing to receive support. This is a really significant time for you, and I hope this reading has given you some clarity and encouragement about what's unfolding.